One of the worst parts about leaving a city is having to find a new barber, Like, I don't think it's a guy or girl thing, but for a guy, it's a refresh, bro. Like look at this right now. This is just like sparse, just all over the place. I don't even know if I had a gray phase. I feel like these hairs are just white now. Every single time. And look, I'm also kind of glad, like when you get a new barber, you kind of get this new look. You're kind of this new person, new style, new personality. Sometimes when I get a haircut and I go play a basketball game, I score extra points. I'm not lying. It's something about a haircut that just gives you this different amount of confidence. For ladies, I do think it's possible, but I think they go through more of a I think they just enjoy the idea that they didn't have to do their hair for once. Like they got the blowout, they got the curls, it's either like a nice, "Ooh, I feel refreshed, I didn't have to do my hair," or it becomes this like, "Ooh, I'm a new person. I cut my hair super short. Now I don't have to maintain it that much. Now I don't have to, wash it and spend an hour doing this, an hour doing that." I mean, you still gotta wash your hair, right? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Back in the day, I used to wash that shit like once a year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast studio for now. I am in the car and I'm parked at a park. I'm connected to a hotspot. I don't know how much of this is going to make it through to video. Hopefully it works. I apologize for missing last week, but I was going through some things. Like I told y'all, we had a little move. So now I am kind of in between two places right now. I'm still in California, but I'm also in Houston, Texas, in which we will call our new home. Hopefully I can get set up there in the coming weeks, days, whatever it may be, to set up the mic, set up the desk, all that stuff. But that's the reason for some of this delay, I will say. I was in New York last week on top of that, having a good time. I went with Isha to her work offsite. It's always fun attending someone else's work offsite. You kind of crash in the hotel room. You can go do whatever you want during the day. You just hop around in coffee shops. You go get you some breakfast, maybe go to the gym, maybe just stay in bed. Maybe just stay in bed. On East Coast hours, you have a great schedule working at Pacific time. Ooh, I was up at 6, 7. People aren't even awake here. Going to your partner's work offsites are always a good time. And even more of a good time when you're in a place like New York City, right? You don't have to have a car. You can just hop in the subway, hop here, hop there. It's also been a while since I've been to New York. I have my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of New York. Oftentimes on this podcast and kind of in conversation, I've said that New York is one of the greatest cities to exist. Still think it's true. I still think it's true. I think the only downside is just like, it's so fucking dirty, bro. It's just so dirty, man. Like, e- and then it's 90 degrees there. And 90 degrees may sound like easy money to someone that may lives in Texas or even California, right? But a New York 90, bro, like someone could die. You could die. If New York gets too hot, New York's done for. I do think that. I do think if New York reaches a certain temperature in which the all the reflections of the big ass buildings. Also, another tangent is why are there so many buildings? I get it. Osama bin Laden came once and it was like, oh, we got to get our pride back. We got to build up since we can't build out. But there are so many buildings. Like, there is no reason that you should be living on the 88th floor of a building, of anywhere. You should never be on the 80. You should never pass floor 38. You know, like anything past that, you trying to die. You trying to go to Jesus. There's no reason you should ever go past floor 50, in my opinion. And that should be the rooftop, right? If someone says, yeah, I live on floor 53, you should never go there. There's no reason anyone should live that high. It doesn't make sense. I was at my boy Vishal's apartment and we're on the rooftop and man, what a beautiful view. What a beautiful view, Lady Liberty in the flesh. And you got this nice panoramic of Brooklyn and New York. Sorry, Brooklyn and Manhattan. And then you see a building in the distance and you're like, that's definitely like 100 stories tall. There's no way that place is occupied with, like filled with residents, and the occupancy rate of this whole city is that high where people are having troubles finding places. There's no way that many people are here. So that's the tangent. Back to the heat story. You got to get on the subway. You got to get on the subway. That's just also the way of life, right? Yes, you can kind of get around with taxis, but if it's traffic, you're cooked. You get on subways, you go around, your balls are sweating, your ass is sweating, everything is sweating. You just cooking in this t-shirt and jeans. The air doesn't move in the subway. The new systems are nice, I will say that. Shout out New York for those systems. And like normally, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I shower when I wake up. I go to bed maybe a little dirty. It is what it is. Hopefully, sometimes, like the workout ends up in the evening, then you shower after that, you go to sleep, wake up, shower again, maybe work out before you go shower, so you got a nice little routine going. But in New York, it's one of those places, it's so dirty that you have to shower. Like you feel like you went to a holy celebration or something. Like you just jumped in some mud or something. It's that just grungy, you know what I'm saying? Amazing city, just real grungy. And then there was a lot of like this Mamdani energy. Oh, this Oron, don't mess with this Oron energy. And it was cool. Like I can see like whoever, honestly, I feel like New York's in a better place right now. I feel like it was pretty good. I spent most of my time in Fidei, but even the areas outside of that, it was look, I'm sitting in the park and I think this lady in front of me is doing some type of Muay Thai. I'm trying not to sound racially insensitive, you know what I'm saying? But damn, that's so dope. I need flow and calm. She's making me more calm. I kind of don't want to fucking do this podcast anymore, bro. I feel so calm just watching her. Back to New York. I feel like New York's nice, bro. I feel like it's nicer than it was 5 years ago. So does that mean you want Mom Donnie? Like I get it. Everyone's saying to vote for him, but I feel like things are going good. Can y'all let me know what y'all's thoughts are for my New York folks? Now then, I went to go see Chris Brown and I went to go see Superman while I was in New York. One of them I put my faith in to save the world. The other one wears an S on his chest. So a quick little review of Superman is the new Superman, new in theaters. It's been on this wave of kind of like the theater is back between Superman, Fantastic Four, F1. Like it's been a nice little wave of movies come in. We haven't gone much. Isha doesn't really want to sit through a movie theater while being pregnant. I get it. So I went with my boy Vishwa. We went to go see Superman, and all I gotta say is I just love me some Henry Cavill, bro. And it's one thing like this Superman got his ass beat a lot. Superman is probably my favorite comic book hero growing up. Between Superman and Power Rangers, the top tier superhero ever. That I was just like, damn, that's so cool. I'm gonna dress up as Clark Kent in college. Every brown boy, I think has gone through the Superman dress up where they go buy the silly glasses from Claire's, they buy the Superman shirt from Claire's, they got their express button down, and then obviously they got some black slacks. Every single brown boy, I think, dresses up as Clark Kent at one point. None of them got Clark Kent muscles. Don't get me wrong. I know how skinny I am, but Superman's like that to me. And over the years, I wasn't really drawn into many of this, like the actual Superman actors. I never really cared for the TV shows. I didn't care about Smallville that much. But I was a fan of like Justice League Unlimited, Young Justice, even though Superman, just makes an appearance of that now and then. But the comic book storyline and just like the depiction of him, his enemies, like the weaknesses, the Lois Lane arcs, I'm a fan, bro. And then Man of Steel comes out. This is when I'm a little bit more of a moviegoer and I care about things a little bit more. And also Henry Cavill's like, God damn, bro, how do I get that big? How do I get that cut? And Henry Cavill, I will say, he got wronged, bro. He got wronged. He, in my opinion, was doing an amazing job holding that DC kind of universe together. Between Man of Steel, Superman versus Batman, this guy's fucking stretching in his car, just fucking eyeing me. Don't look at me, ho. Anyways, between Justice League, the Snyder cut, obviously, they should have kept him, bro. This new guy, I do think he is a good actor. I think we'll see a lot more of him. I should really get his name and be a little bit more respectful. But this dude was a great actor. Just a kind of goofy storyline, though. Like they kind of like lightened it up, made it a little bit more family friendly, threw some more humor in there. But they just tried to go for everything where it's like this would be unique. Like if it was something like, oh, we should tell the original arc. We should introduce Lex Luthor. We should grow character. This is my big beef. With a movie, and then we'll move on to Chris Breezy Too Easy. A Superman movie should be like 3 hours long. When I go watch Superman or Batman, those two heroes right there are bigger than any Marvel hero you know. Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, all the X-Men. It doesn't matter. Superman and Batman are those two iconic superheroes that I think people would be willing to go to the theater and watch for 3 hours. I don't know how long The Dark Knights were, but those were amazing films. They didn't tie into this big picture thing. And then obviously the new Batman with Homeboy from Gossip Girl did all right. I thought it was kind of good. The Dark Arc. And I think he's still in the universe. I don't know if they've replaced him yet or not. But for Superman, I'm willing to go spend the amount of time I spent watching Lagan in there. You should introduce I mean, you don't have to introduce Superman, right? We can kind of start like maybe at 20%. But for Lex Luthor, actually, fuck it. It's a new actor. Introduce him. Introduce him. Give him the birth arc, right? You don't have to start from the very start, right? It could just be the pod lands and then you just do a flash forward. But for Lex Luthor, introduce this guy. I know the fool played Beast in X-Men Days of Future Past. He's a good actor. I get it. I'm supposed to just love him like that? I'm supposed to enjoy the Superman that's getting his ass beat by a programmed machine? By a programmed machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Superman bit, I feel like they just made this on a weird budget. And they had this whole Justice League thing, but they were called like the Justice Gang or something, and that was cute. You had a little Green Lantern sighting, Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Terrific, and that that was cute. But just give me a good Superman movie. He doesn't need help from other people in the movie, right? Maybe you throw in a little Hal Jordan. Maybe you throw in one other person. Throw in Martian Manhunter. And so that's my big beef, is that this could have been like a big old cinematograph. Oh my gosh. This could have been a masterpiece. It's been a long day. I flew here this morning. Just forgive me. I'm sitting in a car recording this. I've never done this before. I got people wearing short shorts looking at me, and my Muay Thai in front of me. She is killing it, bro. I kind of want to ask how to do it. But overall, Superman movie, I think if you haven't watched it yet, don't go to the theater. The theaters are empty. It just kind of like feels a little awkward also. Unless you enjoy that, then go watch it. If not, just wait. It'll be on Redbox soon. Now then, on to the GOAT. We went to go watch Chris Brown. Yes. For those that don't know, I'm a big Chris Brown fan. I was a fan in the early days during the Run It, Wall to Wall, Give Me That. And at the same time, I was an even bigger fan because I like to dance. I wanted to learn all those moves. I was super big into like b-boy stuff too back then, right? So I would learn all the pops, locks, the isolations, all that shit. I would go to my parents' bedroom, practice my chest moving, and then people think, "Oh, you trying to do the T-Pain?" I said, "Hold on, I'm not T-Pain now." But all of that shit Chris Brown was doing, I was trying to emulate. And then obviously we all know about the Rihanna incident. He goes to jail, yada yada. He never really makes it back up on top. The trajectory changes. I'll say that. The trajectory changes. But even through that, even throughout the college days, right? You'd party to his playlist. You'd do his dance moves out in public. You'd watch the music videos when they come out. And slowly but surely, I really was just calling this dude the most talented artist of our generation. Between him and Kanye, I'm not sure. I do think Drake can take the title away as the greatest, right? I do think that. As great as Jay-Z might be or Kanye might be, the Drake level of excellence is just different. But Chris Breezy Too Easy, I will say, until you kind of take a close look at his discography and you look at all the awards and you look at how long he's been doing this as well. How can you not? Obviously, like, I'm judging nothing but the art here. So for those that are like, I can't believe you support him, that means you support this and that. No. Don't tell me what to support. Don't tell me my personality because I like a certain thing. I wonder if this police is coming for me. I am a massive Chris Brown fan. Isha, Narain, and Vishwa surprised me with a last minute ticket, and man, I knew it'd be cool. I knew it'd be great. First of all, it starts thunderstorming. We thought it'd get canceled. We make it there a little bit right after Bryson Tiller goes out. And then Summer Walker comes up. Now, I like Summer Walker. But you can also kind of tell it's like, it's interesting. I don't know whether it's an age thing or just like you notice it a little bit more thing. But you see who's ready for what tier of performing. So for someone like a big artist, right? A big artist, whether it's a Taylor Swift, Beyonce, yada, yada, they're at a top tier level. They can do stadiums. But when you see someone like, let's say, a Pratik Kuhad, you see someone like a Bryson Tiller, Summer Walker, you know that they are in that middle tier. They should be doing music halls. They should be doing arenas. And I don't know what it is. It's just something about that stage presence where you can just take up space and you can entertain 70, 80,000 people versus 20,000. And then he comes out. Now, I will say, I do wish he came out doing the MJ stuff, Michael Jackson, that is. But man, anytime the artist first comes out, I'm always just wowed. Like, damn, bro, that's him. Like, whether it's Kanye, whether it's Beyonce, it doesn't matter. It's like, damn, that's them right there. And it's me just being a fan, just being a fan. Then they go into the set list, right? One song after the other. This fool's singing, this fool's dancing, this fool's going up and down the stage, and you know he's doing outfit changes. He's doing the sex songs, he's doing the love songs, he's doing the sad songs, he's doing the club songs. And then halfway through, and I'm singing all this shit. You hear me? I'm singing all of this shit. Isha started recording me, and I honestly was just like, I don't give a fuck. Normally, I'd be like, oh, stop recording me. I'm embarrassed, yada yada. But I don't care, because it's just like, how can you put your pride away? You know, like, just enjoy, have a good time. You paid money to go to this concert, so just enjoy it. Sing the songs as loud as you can. Have a good time. Who the hell's looking at me here? I'm over here expecting a child. You think I care about someone's perception of me? I'm watching the GOAT right now. I'm watching our modern day Michael Jackson performing in front of me. The greatest performer since Michael Jackson is performing in front of me. When it comes to singing, dancing, and entertaining, that fool's in front of me. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Halfway through the show, this man starts putting on the harness and he's flying from stage to stage. Next thing you know, he's flying around the arena, then landing on another higher platform, doing another song up there, then coming down. Then a DJ comes out for a little bit. Then he does another, like half of his discography. And the beautiful thing about this playlist is it's called Breezy Bowl 20. And he's not just doing one particular album. That was the worst thing about the Beyonce concert for me. Because it was just like, I don't care about any of these Cowboy Carter songs. You know, I'm a fan of Beyonce. So give me those songs, right? Give me Crazy in Love. Give me Dangerous. Bring out Jay-Z. But I think that happened as she graduated on the tour, is that she started bringing in different songs. She started bringing different artists. Chris Brown does, he literally is walking through the timeline. So he starts with, obviously the oldest, like Run It, Yo, Give Me That, Wall to Wall. Then Tyga comes out. He does some of those club songs that probably dominated our college time. If you're 30 years old, you listen to plenty of Chris Brown, Kid Ink, and Tyga's tracks. He does those songs. Then he goes into the Heartbreak on a Full Moon album. Then he goes into the Fame album. This man goes into every album. And look, I'm fangirling. I understand. I'm what the kids call glazing right now. I understand. But I'm just trying to convey to y'all that, putting my fandom aside, we gotta appreciate greatness. I understand people are not the biggest fan of the character. They are not the biggest fan of the artist himself. But man, please, and I understand. If you feel that type of way, then do your thing. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. I don't know how you're more upset than the person that actually got beat up, but I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. You gotta appreciate this greatness, bro. I look over to Vishwa, Narain, even Isha, and they're not the biggest fans, right? They listened to him in college. They heard an album or two, but they're not listening to that shit on repeat like I am, right? Like, I'm a fan of him like other people are a fan of, let's say, like Taylor. We're using Taylor Swift as an example, where it's on repeat. You know the discography. You know what song comes after what song on the album. You know what song aligns to this music video and the dance moves and all that stuff. As soon as you hear a beat, you know, oh, that's Nuke Flame. They're not fans like that. And even them, I was a little worried about them, because it's like, are y'all gonna have a good time? You know, like, am I just blowing smoke up this dude's ass? And then I look over to them and they're literally shaking their head, because they're just like, this dude's murdering it. You can feel when someone's giving you that much energy and time and just putting it all out there. And we were talking to each other like, this is the second night of a back-to-back in New Jersey after a rain delay. And then he's going to go on to the next arena and do it again and do it again and do it again. And it's like, how do you sustain this? I can understand how people go crazy. Let me tell y'all, if I ever fill up an arena with 70,000, 80,000 people on a back-to-back night, I'm going to think I'm a god. I understand how that shit can just, that something in your head twists and turns and you just, oh shit, I'm off the deep end. It's not humanly sustainable to have that many people cheering for you, yelling for you. And then you put on a show that good, bro. So for those that are a semi-fan or have just thought about going to the concert or missed his concert last year, I'm telling y'all, bro, buy the tickets to this one. He may be in your city soon. He's headed to Texas. He's headed to California. Go buy some tickets, bro. Go buy some tickets. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He has plenty of money to die with at this point. He's gone through the highest level of scrutiny. It can't get any worse for him. And this guy is still putting on a show like that. Now, the worst part about all of it is you sit there and you see this greatness and you think, damn, bro, this guy will never get a Super Bowl. This guy will never get a Super Bowl because of how sensitive America is. And they'll come up with some reasoning around, well, if we put him on the Super Bowl, then we're promoting domestic violence. And that's what they're going to use. And there will never be a thing of appreciating how great this dude is. And I don't know. I'm not 100% against it. I understand, right? I do understand what that sentiment is. I still think the level of talent can kind of just truncate it. I do. It might be a little ignorant of me, but I do. I do think that if this man gets a Super Bowl performance, it will be one of the greatest Super Bowl performances we've ever seen. And think about how disappointed the last couple of years have been. Between who's even been up there? The Weeknd, Lady Gaga, Eminem, Dr. Dre. Who got last year? The year after that was Rihanna. Who got last year? Kendrick Lamar? Yeah, I understand. Some of y'all are Kendrick Lamar fans. Chris Brown is 2 times better than him. 2 times better than him. I say that with full confidence. This man, Chris Brown, has albums to wrap around Kendrick Lamar album. He's never gotten into a rap beef like that. He wanted to fight Soulja Boy in Abu Dhabi or something, but who cares about that? But the worst part about it is this man will never get a Super Bowl performance. He'll never have that Michael Jackson Super Bowl performance video on YouTube that everyone talks about for the next generations. Just won't happen. And that's the most disappointing thing. But going back to my point is, if you guys have not seen him, go watch him. Just spend the money, go watch him. This is the tour to watch. This is the tour to watch. I truly do think so. I've missed the last couple of years. The last time I saw him, I was in college. I think 2016. So 9 years later, and you realize, damn, I have listened to a lot of his fucking music in the last couple of years. In the last 9 years. I guess I did see his name a lot on my Spotify and Apple Music Wrapped. I'm this big of a fan? I did look at each and I was just like, damn, bro, I might have a small problem. I've been listening to this much. So I was so glad we went to that, bro. I was glad we went to that because, obviously with life being busy as it is here in Texas, it's tough to squeeze it in. But shit, I might go again. Now then, how long have I been recording for? 29 minutes? Should I just wrap it there? The only other thing I wanted to talk about was this thing in Washington, D.C. with the whole guns and stuff. But basically, it's another Trump story. Trump deploys the guard on Washington, D.C., so there will be a bunch of guards rolling around with guns, trying to lower the amount of crime. And then, of course, the blue states got their defense, and they say, well, actually, crime's been going down by double digits and this and that. And then you have another sentiment of like a different group of people in D.C. where it's like, well, crimes, the murder actually has been going up, homicide, this and that. And you never know what to believe, right? This is just the world we live in, is that you just don't know what to believe. Now, here's some quick thoughts. And I do want to remind y'all on this. Republicans love guns, bro. A lot of the news articles I was listening to was like, yeah, can you believe that they're going to roll out the National Guard there? And not only that, they're going to arm them. Bro, what good is a National Guard without any guns? You tell me that. You tell me how you're going to defend this country with no guns. How you going to take out some crime with no guns? I live in Texas now. And California, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be living in Texas soon enough. You think I'm going to get a gun? You think I'm going to get a gun? Because the answer is you goddamn right. You goddamn right I'm going to get a gun. You have to. If you are in a red state, now let me say this very clearly. I hate guns. I hate guns a ton. I'm a weirdly amount of a pacifist, and I hate guns. I don't like going to shooting ranges. I don't like the concept of them. I don't like people having them, except for police officers, yada, yada. But I'm anti-gun. But it does not matter how tall I am. If there's an intruder, if there's anyone trying to rob your car or this or that, I'm not trying to approach you with the 2006 metal baseball bat that I left at the doorstep for you. And it's so weird to say that because a couple years ago I probably wouldn't, I'd probably like, nah, I don't want a gun. I want to fight with my hands like a dumbass. I want to go up to the guy with the gun and be like, hey, put him up. Dude's going to shoot me twice, steal my fucking TV and Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Republicans love guns. There's nothing that makes a Republican more happy than when you bring up the topic of guns. Seriously, if you ever talk about guns with someone that has guns, they love that shit. They love that shit. They start telling you all about oh yeah, you got to go here to this range. Oh yeah, sometimes I go hunting. Oh, you got to get this case. Oh, look at this rifle. Look at this pistol. Oh, can you handle the kick on this? It's just like any other addiction. It's just like any other addiction, right? Whether you have a weed addiction, whether you got an addiction to sugar, yo, have you had the donuts from Krispy Kreme when they're warm? You know what I'm saying? Like that, just like any other addiction. Guns are that for Republicans. Now, in regards to the whole Washington, D.C. exercising this, oh, no king should exist. Now I'm hot. That stuff I understand, right? It's a little scary to have a bunch of guards rolling around with guns. But you know what also sucks? Is people just doing whatever the fuck they want. This is where I feel like things have just gone south. And sometimes you think, okay, well, if that heightened level of security will almost invite a heightened level of crime. I think there's studies on this shit. But personally, it'd be nice to put it'd be nice to put a pin in some of this shit. So as much as I don't want a bunch of National Guards rolling around with guns, what has worked to bring crime down? Money isn't getting better, right? The interest rates aren't falling. You can't afford a house. You're fucking living paycheck to paycheck. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to make it through college and be able to come out on top of your loans. So guess what? I'm going to go rob the 7-Eleven down the street. And so this is what I do understand how people fall into this trap of like almost needing to steal. Maybe not needing. What is it? Having to steal. And then it's just this world of nonsense now. Now, do I think the National Guard is the cure for that? No, bro. Obviously, you need to figure out just how to put money in people's pockets. If everyone has money, crime kind of goes away. I used to steal shit as a kid. Then I had money. I stopped stealing shit. It's kind of a simple formula. And he keeps doing this in these blue states, and then people keep going on these and then obviously everyone has their protests. Oh, no kings, yeah. And it's like, y'all are wasting your time, bro. Y'all are wasting y'all's time. You just had a No Kings protest, and now the National Guard is going to roll into 4 more blue states. Did it work? Did it do anything? Okay, now switch it up. Don't just have the same protest. Like, is there like a food vendor at these protests that people like are just in love with? Because I'm starting to just get like, what are y'all doing? I understand if you don't agree with the clause, yada yada. But is there like a hot dog, like a Yo-Yo's hot dog stand or something out there? I'm just starting to get lost in the messaging. That's all. And so in regards to all of the DC stuff and just like this concept of Trump versus the world every day, I am starting to get tired of like everything is a fight. Everything that comes out of that fool's mouth, there's always just this like, no. Oh, I think we should lower crime. No. I don't think we should have, like illegal and drug dealers in our, no. Okay, I think we should maybe try to win the AI race. No. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's starting to get a little annoying. Because at what point is it like, and I get it, this has happened with blue presidents, red presidents, but at what point is it like, hey, can something happen? Can something change for the better? Can something get better out here? Every time I get on a flight, that bitch is full. I got this big ass dude, shoulders wider than mine, next to me in the exit row seat. Bro, get your big ass behind me and go to another row. 2 big motherfuckers per row. Everyone knows that. 2 big motherfuckers per row. So if there's a big motherfucker in A and a big motherfucker in C, guess where your big ass needs to go? Into the next row of A or C. You don't get in B. You don't get in B because you want leg room. Now I gotta lean forward because your big ass is in the center. Now check it out. Here's the other thing. With all these blue presidents, not with all these blue presidents. Now with this wave of anti-red happening, you start seeing everyone, and there's no blue candidate out there right now. You start seeing all these blue people start trying to win some love. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. It's a good strategy. They're slowly starting to sprinkle some stuff here and there and being like, hey, do you like me? In 4 years, I might run. You see these cornballs in America, Bass and Newsom, every single time. Well, we think that, and it's like, no one cares about you. There's literally a whole scandal going on about what happened with the wildfire money here. And I truly think that it's not getting attention because blue people don't want to come out as like, oh shit, we had a blue thief in the house. We gotta make sure we keep sending the message that the red guy is the thief, the blue guy isn't the thief. All that to say, look, you gotta get a haircut. If you get a haircut, it resets you. It resets you for a couple days. So if you know a decent barber in Irvine, and I do know one in Irvine through a friend, but if you know one in Irvine or Houston, please let me know. And with that being said, I apologize for the for the new impromptu studio, but I kind of like it. The lighting's nice. I think the sound will be all right. I got the microphone. Everything's good. I just need to get a car wash. This car dirty as hell. With that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a lovely week. I hope you have a lovely week. We're in the second half of the year. The kids might be going back to school soon. I think they are back to school now. Summer vacation's over. You might be going to a wedding or two. Maybe you weren't ready to take off your shirt during summer. I wasn't. You should see me now. My shit's bad, bro. But guess what? Tomorrow's a new day. Have a lovely day. I'll see you guys next week, and goodbye.